Tonight we have a number of distinguished guests that's going to give us lots and lots of information on the latest motorsport. We're going to have a chat with Quinton Swartz about the latest from Mid-City Speedway. We're going to have a chat with Corné Martin about that big meeting happening at the George Motor Club, the V8 Challenge this weekend. And then we're going to have a chat with Jean Roberts all about how to prepare racetracks. That's going to be a very, very interesting one, no doubt about it. Then we'll have a chat with Francois Butler about Halfmain and Rallycross. And talking about the Rallycross, we'll have a chat with Des Tim on Rally Sprint for All. That's now linking up this Saturday with them. And then after that, we're going to have a chat with the man from Durant Motorsport, Mr. Garth de Villiers himself. Well, folks, good evening to you one and all, and welcome to, I think it's number 30 of season number 3. Fantastic. It's been a brilliant, brilliant third season so far, and there's just so much lined up. Really looking forward to the balance of the season. A big, big thanks to everybody that helps to make this one popular and get us out there on the air. Big, big thanks to Ferrobrake, Rally Sprint for All, Fastron, Pertamina, Bessie Bester Motors Incorporating, the Vitais, Capricorn Petroleum, Claim Passing Mega, Bankos Videos, GNA Motorsport, Science Extreme, Rage Productions, Tiger Wheel and Tire in George. We're going to see them on Saturday. Westcape Spares, Kalani International Raceway, PE Oval Track. They've got a meeting coming up next week, Saturday as well. Titan Tools, Cape Active Spares, Car Care Clinic on Timel and the guys, Car Care Clinic, and then also Cape Industrial Flooring, and then CPI Performance. A big, big thanks to all of these folks for helping to make this one possible. Even elkeen van julle wat op 'n Dinsdag en 'n Woensdag aand saam met ons is, baie welkom aan julle. It's always great to get the feedback from everybody and to get the comments of how you feel about different things and what have you. Talking about the field, remember the commentators competition that's coming up. The second one, it's already been opened. So I've got the right video. Have a look at this. That's just the first little snippet of that video. That video is available on Rage Productions. I think it's on a Racers blog as well, on Second Gear Productions, and on Western Province Commentators page as well. Go and have a look at that. It's an invite to anybody that wants to have a bash at doing some motorsport commentary. The video is there. That is the second competition. The first one being won by Stephen Koenig. Wow. Boyk is really good, and he's put the challenge out there to anybody else that wants to have a go at it. So that's fantastic, and he will actually be announcing who is the winner of the second competition. So what you do is go and have a look at that video, and then underneath the video, there's photos of all the different cars, the car driver combinations, so that if you're not accustomed to those car driver combinations, you can see who is who. Go and do a bit of a practice run, and then record your voice over and send it through to either Racers blog, West Province Commentators page, or to Rage Productions, or to my page, the Second Gear Talk Show, and then we'll have a shofty through that. If it's not good, that's where it stays. We're not going to make idiot out of you. If it's pretty decent, we will let you know. If it's pretty decent and we can give you a couple of tips to make it a whole heap better, we will contact you and say to you, try this, try that, and what have you, to give you the best possible opportunity. And we'll give it probably about 2 weeks from now. We'll stick them all together, and then we'll pick the best one out of that. So definitely give it a go. Don't be scared. You've got nothing to lose. We're definitely not going to put something that's not up to scratch up on air and make an idiot out of you. If it's not fine, we will just tell you it's not fine. If it's good, well, believe you me, we'd like to meet you face to face and get you down to a circuit and join us, and etc., etc. So let's have a look. I got some photos recently from a man that chat to on a fairly regular basis every now and again. Sent me some photos. That's one of the photos he sent. That is Mid-City Speedway. Look how nice that spot is looking now. And look at that, a lot of work, a massive amount of work that's been done on that circuit to bring it to where it is. And the man behind all that is, in fact, joining us this evening, Quentin Swartz. Good evening to you.
Evening, Gary, and evening, followers.
I must say, massive, massive, massive. If you look at the first photos you sent me and you look at those photos, you still married, happily married? You have a wife and kids still? They don't call you uncle yet?
You can see I'm bald, obviously.
Too much sunshine. Quentin, Mid-City Speedway, it looks like it's going very, very well there. Give the folks the latest on where you've managed to bring Mid-City Speedway. You're the man that actually started the resurrection of the circuit as such, the latest info.
Gary, we've got to a stage where we're lucky enough to have guys joining, you could say, on a weekly basis. We've been fortunate enough that we've had 1 or 2 guys visiting our sister club, Newcastle. We had Dylan Stander, who went up last weekend, came back with a 2nd overall in the quads division. And then we had a gentleman from our club, Steve Murgatroyd. He entered the 1660 class. He was thrown in the deep end. He went up there very nervous, but he came back all smiles. We tested over the weekend. We opened the circuit for the guys. The guys are super keen to go back to Newcastle while we're still busy trying to get our wall up. Our biggest cost at the moment is obviously material, cement. But we're going forward slowly but surely. Rome wasn't built in a day. But we've been very fortunate that it's taken a bit of a, you could say, a spark, that the guys are joining. The guys are putting their effort into the club, and luckily the guys are fortunate enough to go and ride away at the moment in Newcastle. We're probably going to be sending a couple of cars up at the end of the month. But as far as Mid-City goes, we appealing to the public far and wide, as far as Cape Town, Joburg, all over the show. We're looking for sponsorship. We need guys to get on board. We need guys to help us with our biggest factor at the moment is obviously building material, and 90% of that building material is cement and blocks. So we appealing to the public, all our motorsport guys, all our enthusiast clubs. We really need your help. We basically at the crest of the mountain. We just need to get over the top there, so we can also start hosting events and putting on a show for the greater Natal public.
Yeah. Tell me, for those that are not aware, whereabouts is Mid-City Speedway?
Gary, it is the old Idube Oval track, which is, you could say, 40 kilometers from Durban, 20 kilometers from Pietermaritzburg. It's based on the N3. Signage is available off the N3, so it's clearly visible. It's a well-known circuit. It didn't run for many years, and then I had this bright idea of, okay, let's go and resurrect this thing, and let's get another oval going. So yeah, it's fairly simple to get there. It's on the same facility as the karting facility, the Idube karting or track or whatever facility, which is very well known throughout South Africa.
Yeah.
So it's basically shares the same land.
Yeah. I've seen, okay, I haven't got all the other photos on here. I've seen the other photos of the surrounding area, and massive amounts of work have been done in the surrounding area. So Quinton, at this stage of the fight, the next trick now, you say, is to build the wall. Anybody that wants to get involved at this point with Mid-City Speedway, how do they get hold of you, and what is the vision going forward for anybody getting involved with Mid-City Speedway to realize the complete dream in the near future?
Gary, we have our own Facebook page, which we regularly we try and update on a weekly scale. I will basically put our contact details, myself and our club secretary Jessica. I'll put her details up as well. And furthermore, the guys can contact us via our Facebook page or through our numbers and email addresses. We've had a lot of work put in from Auntie Ann Bacchus. She's helped us a hell of a lot. Jessica, was also thrown into the deep end when it came to becoming a club secretary. That's not something she'd done before, so we threw her in the deep end, and so far I think she's swimming quite comfortably. But huge thanks to Wamsa, huge thanks to Auntie Ann Bacchus.
Fantastic. All right, so that's the latest from Mid-City Speedway. Anybody that would like to get involved with Mid-City Speedway and give a little bit of assistance in any format, the main thing now being anybody that's in the industry that can help with no major cost to themselves, but with major assistance to the track to be able to put that together. From there on out, life's a peach. Everything else is there. The wall is sort of like the final countdown. Quinton, from all of us in motorsport, to you and your dedicated team to have done what you've done already so far, it's utterly amazing stuff. And I really hope that somebody pops up on the cell phone tomorrow and says, hey, Quinton, let me help you in some other format that you can move it along just a little bit quicker. You've done amazing stuff in the last 6, 7, 8 months, and I salute you and your team and look forward to speaking to you again. Please keep those dates coming. I see you've got every time you send me a list, I see there's more and more entries. So there is a major need for what you are doing in the area that you are. So with that wall, I think you're going to become a major role player in the game. Quinton, the last word from your side.
Gary, just a huge thanks to you guys for getting us out there, promoting us, and giving us this valuable time to promote ourselves. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys and all the guys in your team behind the scenes, I don't think, we wouldn't be as far as we are. We're persistent, we're carrying on, we're almost at the top of the crest. Mid-City is going to grow. It is going to become one of the main attractions when it comes to oval in South Africa. That I'm dead certain of. Just like to say thanks to our guys on our Facebook page, the Mid-City page, to all my drivers, to the guys who can afford to go and race away. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. And yeah, we're going to grow from strength to strength. Thanks, Gary.
Well, there we go. The latest from Quinton, Mid-City. He basically started off all by himself and started putting his money where his mouth was and started developing. Slowly but surely, people started joining him and picked up the momentum. And what they managed to do there in that area, it's quite astounding. Every now and again, he sends me photos and you can just see the amount of dedication that's been put in there. But I think the motivation comes from the fact that every single time they have an event, there's just more and more and more entries. So they're definitely sitting on a very, very good situation there where with a little bit of additional assistance to get the wall up, I think from there on out, it's pretty much showtime for them. Right. Well, the second person I'd like to speak to tonight is somebody that I'm going to be seeing on Friday. Around about a week ago, a quick little chat between myself, FC Nivo, Frankie Yernis, and one of the ladies involved with the organizing at George Motor Club, and boom, bam, the Noisy Boys are on their way down to George. V8 challenge going to happen down at George Motor Club this Saturday, and the entries is just getting bigger and bigger. Corne, good evening to you.
Night om Gary, hoe gaan dit?
Man, ek is alright. Wat vir my pla is, het jy in die laaste paar uur gekyk na hoeveel extra entries bygekom het, want as jy kyk maar groot genoeg, it's looking very good.
Ja, nee, die laaste wat ek gekyk het, was ons hier net na by die 40, maar ek sien ons is nou 51 entries, so dit lyk goed vir die naweek. En ek dink ons gaan regtig 'n lekker show kan opsit, want ek sien ons het verskriklik baie van ons eie SWD mense wat ons kom ondersteun, en ons pak dit vol. Ons wag nog net vir die buitemense om in te skryf dat ons dit kan nog groter maak.
I see Sergio Abrams is starting to punt pretty heavily now, and the figures are just getting bigger and bigger. The American V8 Challenge, what is the basis of that?
Daar's nie regtig 'n basis nie. Ons het maar net besluit, die klub self besluit ons wil 'n slag 'n V8 Challenge vir onsself hou, want ons as 'n Benwerk groep het omtrent ek dink 10 V8s van onsself wat die naweek gaan ry. So ons challenge so 'n bietjie die mense daar buite, en met daai challenge hoop ek ons trek sommer nog 'n paar ouens in, maar ons wag nog vir 'n paar groot name om ons te kom klop hierso.
Well, just looking quickly at the list that I see here, Leontine Smile, Lucius Ferry was down at Cane Plus Mega recently. What a car driver combination. Yeah. To my mind, I think he's going to be one of the guys to catch. Bram Koen, Sidney van Rensburg, Corne Martin himself, the man on screen, Peter Combrink, Ludwig Lotz, Albert Olivier in the G11 car. He's also blindingly quick. What a car driver combination. And Junior is going to be out there as well. Durain Jibber just had a race meeting now at Victory Raceway this weekend gone by. Nadia Jibber is going to be out there in the Benver Civils plant hire car as well. Albert Olivier Jr. And I'll tell you what, that youngster is coming on very, very strong. Yuri Meyer, Salu van Sail, Marius Combrink, Tiens Extien, Loti Extien is going to be out there as well. Vincent Fenter, he was the man that put that in-car video up as he went towards the front end of the pack at the last meeting now at Victory Raceway. Nice in-car footage. And then Johannes Havenga in the SKP boucontracteurs and Havenga ingebouwde kastekarretjie. So that is a very, very good entry list we've got there. I see that Alan has started his 410. Is there any chance of him coming to join as well?
Wel, ek dink daar's 'n goeie kans dat hy kom. Ek het nog niks van hom gehoor nie, maar dit klink my daar's nie 'n goeie kans dat ons hom gaan vang nie.
Great stuff. Okay, for the folks that are not too afraid with what's happening down George side of the world, the information as to how people can get to watch Saturday's races?
Ja, die link gaan nog beskikbaar gestel word, so hulle moet maar net ons web dophou. Sodra dit uitkom sal ons dit daar buite gooi sodat ons soveel as moontlik ondersteuning kan kry vir die naweek, want ek dink na Saterdag toe gaan ons nog vele karre kry, so ek dink ons gaan 'n lekker groot wedren hê, en dit gaan daai ou geldjie werd wees om daar by jou huis te sit, lekker in die winter en die racing dop te hou.
Snaaks genoeg net, daar's heelwat mense wat in die laaste tyd die kans gekry het om vir 'n slag weer by 'n baan te kom, en heelwat mense wat sê vroeër jare het ons gekyk of VP of Vrystaat of wie ook al rugby speel, en dan nooi jy jou vriende om en dan braai jy en jy kyk die rugby and what have you. What's happening now is a lot of people have become accustomed to, soos jy sê, lekker by die huis sit, 4 keer aansteek, nooi jou vriende na die huis toe, het kos jou R100 plus your normal whatever it's going to cost you, and you can watch all the racing. And just like rugby, when you've got people like Andre Oosthuizen that is doing the live feed, you actually see more watching the live feed than if you're actually alongside the circuit. So with Andre doing the live stream, definitely one to get. Corne, asseblief, as sodra jy daai link het, stuur dit deur na Second Year Talk Show, a Racers blog, West Province commentators page, and then also to Rage Productions. Frankie Yennis, FC, and myself will be leaving on a road trip very early Friday morning. What we're going to look like Saturday morning, I don't know. We've got a good couple of places we're going to stop on the way up by a lot of well-known racing drivers and make a complete social out of it. We will then be there joining you on Saturday. Where can people see the updated list of who's actually going to be driving on Saturday when it comes nearer the time?
Ek is nou hier so juis op hom op SVD Oval News en ek moet sê dit lyk beter is vanoggend. So hulle moet hom maar dophou. En gooi maar 'n like en gooi 'n share sodat nog drywers dit raak sien dat hulle kan sien dis die moeite werd om bietjie die Weselike mense hierso te kom challenge hieronder. So kom ons kyk.
Awesome stuff. Corne, en iemand wat iewers skielik 'n pitmac wil word en saam met 'n drywer in enige moontlikheid?
Kyk om Gary voor ons al die reis geadverteer het, toes al die kaartjies uitverkoop. Hulle het nog eers geweet hoeveel drywers is daar nie. So dit is moeilik, maar soos die inskrywings nog kom, kan 'n mens altyd miskien 1 of 2 ouens nog akkommodeer om te kyk, want as daar dalk nou 'n drywer van PE kom of van Woester af kom en hy het nou nie 5 mense nie, dan kan hy vir ons sê daar's 3 plekke oop en ons vul dit en dit maak dit nog beter vir die klub. So ja, kom ons doen dit so.
Awesome stuff. Looking forward to that, no doubt about it. Sien jou vroeg Saterdagoggend by die baan. Corne, baie dankie.
Ek sal wees. Alright, Gary, dankie.
Cheers, man. I think that's going to be a pretty goodie. The numbers, you get to a point, FOMO, fear of missing out. It's something that a lot of racing people suffer from, that once there's a long list of people that's going to be there, they're scared to not be there, and then all of a sudden they start entering one after the other, and that's always a situation like what we're sitting with now, where all of a sudden towards the end, kom 'n hele paar karre by, and I must say that track is always very, very well prepared, so definitely one not to be missed. Talking about track preparation, how does it work? What do you do? How do you know what to do? If you take, for instance, Klein Plaasie Mega, that one. Yeah, that one up there. Everything's left and right is left. You never get that one right. You take Klein Plaasie Mega, probably the biggest oval track in terms of gravel in South Africa right now under WUMSA and MSA. And to take on the responsibility of repairing a track like that must be very, very nerve-wracking. And I don't think there's a lot of people that can do it. There was a time that Glenn de Jong was classed as the best track repairer in South Africa, and he was brilliant, no doubt. There was a time that Chris Liebenberg was classed as the best in South Africa, the way he did Tygerberg Raceway, the way that he banked it and prepared it. And unfortunately, Tygerberg Raceway, we've lost. So probably one of the best circuits to be on right now is Klein Plaasie Mega. And the man that's taken on that responsibility. Good evening to you, JP Roberts.
Good on, Gary. Hoop het gaan goed.
Moenie nou al sien of jy agterlykie. Jou meeting is eers die 29ste. Gaan dit goed?
Ons klaar nie self.
Haha, lekker. JP, baie mense dink hulle weet baie van baanbou en regmaak en hulle kan vir jou alles vertel. Maar as nie baie mense wat eintlik op die binnekring is wat op die dag moet besluit hoe, waar, wat. Jy het nou nie daai baan gebou nie, maar jy hou dop soos wat hy aangaan en jy moet die besluite neem om wat te doen. Soos jy nou hierso sit, hoe weet jy wat om te maak om daai baan reg te maak vir heel moontlik 140, 150 karre op die 29ste? Waar begin jy met so 'n taak?
Man, om mee te begin, dink ek dit is nie 'n maklike taak nie. En om net iets te sê in die begin, nie een van die bane is dieselfde nie. Niemand se bane het dieselfde klei, dieselfde oppervlakte. So dit maak dit moeilik om te sê, as ou nog van sê, jy bou nou of jy prep Klein Plaasie se baan, jy gaan dalk nie Oudtshoorn of George of PE of Weskus dieselfde prep as wat jy Klein Plaasie prep nie. Want dit gaan oor die oppervlakte waarmee jy sit en die aantal karre waarmee jy sit op die dag. Gary, met te begin, ons het Klein Plaasie, toe ons begin het met Mega, die basies die hele baan, die hele klei het ons uitgehaal en van onder van die buis af begin As ek nou sê ons het hom uitgehaal, ons het hom gerip tot ons basies die klippe gekry, die basis onder op die baan gekry het. So dit vat baie werk. Ons het dit uitgerip, ons het al die klei weggevat, weggeskuif na die muur toe. En ons het gewerk aan die buis. Ons het gewerk om die buis reg te kry, laat jou klei wat jy bo op die buis sit, kan bind met jou buis aan die onderkant. Dit is baie belangrik om dit te doen, anders sit jy met 'n baan wat jy altyd wil breek. En omdat ons vir die laaste tydperk aantal van tussen 130 en 150 entries het, kan ons nie bekostig met 'n baan wat breek nie. So dit vat harde werk om daai buis in die onderkant reg te kry. Jy moet hom nat maak. Dan moet jy jou klei stadig begin terugbring, daai klei nat maak. Dan moet jy daai klei matbek. Jy moet seker maak daai klei meng met jou buis en so moet jy al daai klei terugbring tot jou baan dan op die einde van die dag nou weer soos 'n baan lyk. Dit lyk soos 'n teerpad op een wat hulle besig is om te bou as jy al daai klei weggevat. Dit lyk of jy nooit weer gaan regkry nie. As jy basies daai baan, daai setup, die buis alles weer reg het, dan help dit nie jy vat 'n waterlor en jy begin nat maak vir 3 weke aan mekaar en jy gooi net water en jy gaan net aan nie. Dit gaan absoluut niks help. Jy moet daai klei die water wat jy neersit, moet jy onder in die klei afkry. Jy moet dit matbek, jy moet dit konstant rol, jy moet as jy die water neergesit het, help ook jy gaan dadelik en jy vat 'n matbekker en jy begin 'n matbek nie. Jy moet basies daai water eers kans gee dat hy kan intrek en dan kan jy begin om met 'n matbekker om daai water en die klei met mekaar te brei. Dan kan jy weer uitkom en jy kan weer kom water gee en daai water weer kans gee dat daai water kan settle. Ook nie heeltemal dat hy heeltemal te droog raak nie, want die son, die wind, die weer al speel 'n rol. So jy moet konstant daai water en die klei met mekaar brei dat hy kan intrek, dat hy kan onder toe gaan tot jy hoe sal ek nou sê, die klei begin half met jou praat, as jy nou verstaan wat ek bedoel, in die sin van, jy kan hoor, as jy met die lorry oor hom ry, die tyres begin dit tekkie raak op die klei, die tyres begin dit vasplak in mekaar. Dan kry jy basies 'n baan wat jou baie traction sal gee. Maar ons kan nie 'n baan bou wat sag is, wat die water, natuurlik moet hy baie water inneem, maar wat sag is en hy gaan vir jou baie traction gee nie. Want met al die traffic wat jy op hom sit, 150 karre, gaan hy klei gaan wegskuif, hy gaan begin 'n sloot te maak. Dis hoekom wat ons by klein plaasie doen is ons bou 'n harde baan. Ons moet jy noem dit 'n sleepbaan, maar jy wil ook jy moet traction maak. Hy gaan nie baie traction maak nie, maar hy moet hard wees om al die traffic te kan vat. Hy gaan swart raak op die einde van die aand. As jy baie mense wat hou van 'n sleep tipe baan nie. Maar met 150 karre kan ons bekostig laat hy breek nie. So by klein plaasie bou ons 'n harde baan. Iets wat ek geleer het destyds by hom Sakkie. Ek het baie saam met hom gewerk toe hy nog by klein plaasie was met baan prepping. Om 'n harde baan te bou. Laat daai setup wat jy daar het nie breek op die einde van die dag nie. Daar is multies wat ons in die water gooi om te help daarvoor. 'n ding wat die grootste rol speel is jou weer op die dag, die week terwyl jy prep, wind wat waai, die hitte speel groot rol. By klein plaasie maak dit moeilik. Ons sit met daai groot paviljoen op die mynstryd en hier na middag hier van 3 uur, 4 uur af en begin hy koel te maak oor die baan. So jy kan nie daai gedeelte van die baan dieselfde hoeveelheid water gee soos jy die res van die baan gee nie. Want dan gaan die karre glad nie verby die mynstryd kan gaan nie. Hulle gaan gly en dit gaan net 'n chaos wees. So daar gebeur ons die water, ons sit water af, ons gee minder water daar, ons gee die res van die baan meer water as daai gedeelte. So dit is maar 'n groot taak, jy moet heeltyd loop en dophou, waar's droë kolle, waar's kolle wat te nat is.
Ja. So jy sê die feit dat daar 'n paviljoen is en dat daar skaduwee is op die een kant en son op die ander kant, dit maak dit is 'n beslissende faktor met wat jy doen die kant van die baan en op die ander kant. Maak 'n so groot verskil.
Dit maak 'n baie groot verskil. Ek sal dit nie glo wat so groot verskil dit maak nie.
En as mense praat van jy gooi nat en dan jy gooi genoeg water sodat soos jy die baan trap deur die loop van die aand dat die vog van onder af opkom. Werk dit so op 'n kleibaan of is dit net op die ou tipe gravelbane waar jy daai vog weer kry wat terugkom boontoe as jy hom begin trap deur die loop van die aand?
Ja, dit werk. Dit werk definitief. Maar soos ek sê, is dit help nie, jy wil hom begin trap as die baan klaar reeds uitgedroog het. Jy moet daai waterkans gee om in te gaan, maar jy kan dit ook die kans gee tot die water tot die baan begin droog raak teen die bokant toe. Wat ek nou baie klein plase gesien het is, en ek sien dit op ander bane ook, dit help nie jy gaan uit en jy gooi die hele dag net water. Jy ry die hele dag met die waterlorry gemaak vol, jy kom uit en jy gooi water op die baan. Jy gaan uit en jy gooi water op die baan. Teen die tyd wat dit kom vir racing, gaan jy met 'n topping sit wat as die kar op hom uitkom, al jou klei gaan saam met daai karre huis toe. Jy vat, ek dink per kar seker 50 tot 70 kg klei saam met jou weg.
Ja.
As daai kar op die baan gaan kom. So jy moet daai waterkans gee om 'n bietjie in te trek en dan moet jy hom matpak voor hy karre uitkom.
Ja.
En laat daai klei weer, daai water weer van onderaf kan stadig begin uit sy boontoe.
Ja. So wat jy basies nou vir my vertel is, daar's nie juist baie mense in Suid-Afrika wat vir jou kan iets vertel wat jy nie weet nie. Iemand moet daai besluit neem. How much, how long before the time, how deep do you water it? Het jy 'n span wat saam met jou werk of moet jy alleenlik daai besluite neem?
Nee, Gary, ek het 'n ongelooflike span wat saam met my werk. Wat my help. Werner wat die breakdown-drywer ook is op klein plaasie. Laurens wat ons opsigter is daarso. Ons het nou by die Wynland 3 weke voor die tyd al begin prep aan die baan. En ek het baie mense in Woester in die omgewing wat masjinerie het, ons is baie gelukkig, ons kon al ons eie masjinerie het ons tans. So ons hoef nie meer te gaan huur nie en vertel hulle of jy nee, maar die masjien is uitgehuur en jy kan hom vir 'n dag kry, jy kan hom so kry nie. So ons het ons eie masjinerie, ons kon vir 3 weke, ons kan vir 'n maand lank kan ons baan prep met ons eie masjinerie. Dis net die diesel wat die groot rol speel. Ons het vir 3 weke lank voor die Wynland het ons baan gewerk, ons het baan geprep, ons het die naweek voor die Wynland, toe sit ons met 'n baan wat klaar geprep is. Daai Saterdagmiddag toe ons baan klaar geprep is, 100% reg, hy's race ready gewees. 'n Groot naam in die sport, Pieter Swanepoel, hy help my baie, gee baie raad, gee baie van sy lorries om te help matpak en te trap, wat ons nou maar noem. Ek dink jou tyres is jou beste matpacker wat jy kan kry om die baan te brei, om die klei en die water met mekaar te brei. En daai Saterdag het ons al gestaan, ons het die baan gestaan en kyk en Swan het vir my gesê, as die baan breek, bly met on me. Sê ek vir hom, nee, ons almal is saam hierso. Ons vat die pak saam, ons gaan nie mekaar skuld nie. Maar wat ek net sê is, ek het 'n ongelooflike span mense wat ons help. Die besluite wat daar gemaak word, is maar op my. Ek moet die besluit maak, het ons te min water gegee, het ons te veel water gegee, wanneer moet ons matpak, wanneer gaan ons dit doen, wanneer gaan ons wat doen. Ek vra baie raad by die verskillende mense. So nee, ons het 'n ongelooflike span en ek is baie dankbaar vir al die mense wat ons help. Dit vat bitter baie tyd om die baan te prep en die werk te doen. Ek het 'n besigheid vir my eie, ek kan nie heeldag aldag op die baan sit nie. So ek het mense wat my help daarso. Ek ry gou soontoe, ek gaan kyk gou wat hulle doen, gee gou raad, gaan gou terug werk toe. As my werk uitgesort is, gaan ek terug baan toe en ons werk almal weer saam.
Ja.
Ek dink ons beste tyd wat ons water gee is gewoonlik die week voor die racing hier van 3 uur die middag af tot 8 uur die aand toe. En daai laaste water wat jy gee hier basies 8 uur die aand is eintlik die water wat saak maak. Daai water kan lekker deur die nag lê en intrek. En môreoggend as jy 8 uur daar kom, dan kan jy net die matpacker vat en jy kan die water en die klei met mekaar lekker brei en dan kan jy weer aangaan. Jy kan water gee tot voor die middag toe wanneer die son weer bietjie sterk is en dan kan jy weer so 'n bietjie los tot die middag toe.
Awesome stuff. JP Roberts, a big thanks to you. Dit is lekker om te hoor as iemand wat kennis daarvan so iets begin praat. Ons gaan nog 2 ure praat daaroor en dan jy nog eers die helfte vertel van dit wat jy geleer het in 'n bitter kort tydperk. Jy is die man wat in Suid-Afrika nou as gewys word as een van die beste wat daar is om 'n baan te prep. Congratulations. Well done. From all of the drivers that frequent 150 plus on a regular basis, Klein Plaasie Mega, van iedereen elkeen van ons, vir jou, vir Swannie, vir al jou mense, baie dankie vir daai baan wat jy vir ons neersit daarso, en van al die publiek van buitekant af wat daarna toe kom, en die karre bly min of meer heel, want dis nie die baan wat hulle breek, is die mense om hulle. Ons sê vir jou, baie dankie. Sien jou.
Baie dankie Gary, ek waardeer en ons by Mega is dankbaar vir al die drywers wat ons kom ondersteun. As dit nie vir hulle was nie, ek dink as jy die baan werk, jy moet lus wees vir dit, jy moet entoesiasties wees om dit te kan doen. Dit help jy gaan doen dit met 'n halwe hart nie.
Ja.
En as jy sien al die ondersteuning wat jy kry, al die karre wat elke reis vir reis terugkom, die drywers, ons is dankbaar daarvoor. Dit is die ouens wat ons die motivering gee om uit te gaan om 'n baan te bou, nuwe klei aan mekaar by te sit. En ons luister wat die drywers vir ons sê en vir ons vra en dit is wat ons motiveer om vir hulle elke slag te probeer tot die beste van ons vermoë om 'n beste baan te kan gee wat ons kan.
Definitely one of the best in South Africa. JP Roberts, thank you very much. Well, folks, I tell you what, it's you don't realize how much time and effort actually goes into it until you get into the inner circles and you look and see and hear exactly what it's all about. And even then, there's just so much guesswork and thought practices that can go into it. Either way, the boys have got it right, no doubt about it. Let's go pay the bills. Going to come back to you with Francois Butler.
Wescape Space. Just hold. Yes, it's the 2017. I've got it in my hand. Perfect. See you in an hour.
Westcape Motor and Buggy Spares are located in Blackheath Industrial. We have a wide range of good used parts. We also do new parts, new tires, new engine components, mechanical repairs. We rebuild engines. The service that we provide exceeds our reputation. You'll always find someone to assist.
Wow, the time has passed by so quickly this evening. Still got 3 folks I want to speak to before we go off air this evening. So, with that man on screen, Francois Butler, good evening to you.
Good evening, Gary. How are you?
Fantastic. I love Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays because there's racing on Saturdays. Francois, great to have you with us. Folks, you maybe don't know the face, but you'll obviously know the voice. Francois Butler, the man that's been a regular commentator at Killarney International Raceway with rallycross, with karting, with rock karting, with radio-controlled karting at Zone 7, motocross at Zone, you name it, Francois has been there. Francois, I haven't heard and seen you at the main circuit recently. I know you've been doing quite a bit of traveling, moving more around the country now with commentating motorsport. Rock National Series, I believe you're doing that for 2021?
Yeah, Gary, we've got a few events. They end in July. I was up in Benoni now on the weekend, did the Rock National up there. Very exciting stuff from the youngsters right up to the grown-ups. Spectacular racing. We were very fortunate. Unfortunately, it was preempted by bad news, the loss of Jan Hutze on Wednesday evening due to COVID-related causes. So it was a bit of a topsy-turvy thing, but everyone came together at the 99th minute, and we managed to put a great show together. I have posted it on my Facebook page, the show that we had on Saturday. And I want to speak a big shout out to Gary Lennon from FTW for sending us up and sorting it out and putting the money down. It was really, really worthwhile. So we did Benoni. We've had the one in Cape Town. We now look to go to Dubai, then we're going to Vereniging, and then possibly also up to Swartkops. So things are looking good. Karting fraternity, huge, great love, great respect out there. The racing is out of the top draw. And something I must say, it is very, very Rainbow Nation. The karting it's expanded immensely. And yeah, exciting racing. Like we know, that is the future of all race car drivers is karting. And you know, that's I've got great respect from the little boys from 6, 7 years, 8 years old, all the way up to the age of 40, 45.
Fantastic. Now, those other Rocket National legs, where can the people see the footage of those races, or how can they trace when it's going to be coming up?
You can go to www.rockcup.co.za. Rock is R-O-K, not R-O-C-K, just R-O-K.
Rock, okay, 100%. And then obviously, please, Francois, when it comes nearer the time, the usual Western Province commentators, races blog and whatever, please post it there as well. So that the people
this one that I've just posted now as well, Gary. Yeah.
So that the people can pick up that information. This Saturday down at Killarney, what's going to be happening there?
Well, we've got short circuit racing. Now, like we just spoke about the Carters being the breeding ground for 4 wheels. This is the breeding ground for 2 wheels. I've been involved in now for close to 14 years. It's been great. You know, it's a lovely place to be. It's very family orientated. Unfortunately, they don't have the means to live stream on a Saturday, but I can tell you something. Once the spectators come back, I think we're going to get a lot of spectators because it's great racing. We have got the little mini motos, which is the little kiddies on the little zip bikes. That is a lot of fun. We have got the CBR 150s, juniors and seniors. We have also got the larger class, the super singles, which includes the KTM 390s. There's a couple of guys running Kawasaki 300s and a few Yamaha 300s. So we also include the Motard guys, the motor guys, because they don't have quite the numbers, man. They go and ride with them. So we have very exciting racing and a little bit of Formula M's in there as well. A Formula M, for those that don't know, is a little race car with a motorcycle engine in. Some brilliant engineering to behold there. And then, yeah, so once that's over, then apparently that's in the morning. That sort of ends about lunchtime. And then after lunchtime, we're hoping we'll be having some rallycross.
Okay, now that rallycross, just tell the folks a bit about the basis of what's happening at West Province Motor Club with the rallycross at this point.
Well, rallycross, you can basically build any car. We see that a lot of guys favor the E36 BMW to go and race that. They say it's cheap, but I've been on Gumtree and that. I see you can pick up an E36 now for about 20K. Chuck in a roll cage and a set of tires. I see some of those rallycross BMWs. I look on the gauges. Some of them got 450,000 kilometers on the clock, and they're still riding the living hell out of them. But yeah, so there's look, a guy like Wayne Wilson from DTM Helderberg. He's got about 5 or 6 Nissan Maxima front-wheel drives. It's a massive car, but I tell you what, front-wheel drive is the way to go because you don't have to swing the behind out when you take a sharp corner. You just turn it in and it tends to follow suit. So it makes it very exciting. There's Opel Cubs, there's Mark 1 Golfs. You can ride anything. You generally can ride anything that's affordable that you would like to put out there. You're on tar, you're on gravel, you're back on tar, back on gravel. So it's very challenging. I almost want to call it the Motard version of motor cars because that's what the Motards used to do, ride on gravel and on tar. And now the cars are doing the same. And I must admit, I'll be very honest with the public, I didn't think that it would be much, but it's grown from strength to strength, and it's very exciting, and it's great camaraderie.
Yeah. Talking of which, Rally Sprint for All, something else which started almost post-COVID-19 to the best of my knowledge, and it was also like Rallycross is just growing and growing and growing. And recently we became aware of the Rally Sprint guys that are saying once a month is lovely. What else can we do? Can't we go play on the Rallycross track? And with that thought in mind, joining you this Saturday is going to be Des Tim. Des, good day to you.
How's it, guys? It's so wonderful to be on your show again. We haven't had much to celebrate on the Rallycross front. As you can tell, I'm a big Andreas Becker fan. And this weekend he managed to win 2 heats in an electric car. We'll take motorsport in any form at the moment. The last time I had anything to get excited about, he gave me the bottle when he tied for the World Championship. But that was one of the sadder days. Now we just have good things to think about. The guys have to join them this weekend. We have managed to put so far 20 cars together. We will basically be like the privateer beginner class, if you want to call it that. We have 7 Subarus. We have a nice Mark II Escort, 3 Toyotas. Accident Guru will have their Audi S3 there. There's a couple of BMs. There's even 2 pipe cars. Sean Creel and Pete Stein are going to be there. And then 3 Opels. So even though we aren't able to have spectators everywhere, we're making sure that there's enough participants to bring enough pit crew. So we should have a good crowd by the time the day is over.
Yeah. Des, tell me, Rally Sprint for All, we did do a bit of a feature on it recently. You had that very successful meeting. I've seen some of the photos and videography that was done on that. That grew massively. Is this pretty much a Rally Sprint for All one-off to go and have a look and see what it's like? Or is this a case of, let's add this to our calendar going forward?
Well, what we've dubbed it, we've called it Rallycross for All, because they basically allowed us, there's safety, there's helmets and safety belts and bits that are necessary to make sure we're safe. But we've been trying to get privateers to join us and just have a small piece of gravel, a bit of tar, just so that they can get an idea of what rallycross is like. And we're going to give it a try. And what we'd like to do is push the idea of the next event, us all going, and it will actually be a point scoring event for the rally sprint guys. But we want to test it out first, one toe at a time. But I've done rallycross once or twice, and I know once they've experienced it. For me, the great thing is if something breaks, you get out of your car and you just walk like 50 yards to the pits and you're done.
Awesome stuff. Seriously looking forward. Well, Francois, I see you were quite surprised when you heard the numbers. So I think that's going to be awesome stuff. I see the E36 boys are going to be there as well. So, yeah, anybody that wants to get down there, get a hold of somebody that you know that's involved with Rally Sprint for All or with the Rallycross. Become an instant pitmac and join up and come down there with the overall on. And then sneak it around the corner and you can see what's cutting. Definitely something to be enjoyed and something, Rally Sprint for All is growing phenomenally. And I think if you two link together, I tell you what, that's going to be great stuff. Francois, thanks very much for joining us.
Can we give your fans something? What we've done is we've got a sponsor that was willing to halve. So we didn't know we would have so many people. So we got a sponsor that would cover half the cost. And so if there are 3 guys who've got their mother-in-law's car for the weekend or go to rallysprint.co.za and they still enter tonight, then we'll cover half their entry and they'll only have to pay $250. So, but it's only for the second gear fans. So if there's anyone who wants to, we'll have to put a Rally Sprint sticker on your car, but we'd love you to join us there.
Fantastic. Way to go. I've got to put this up, Francois. Sorry. Getting grey, but just a thought. Guys, thanks very much for joining us and enjoy yourselves there on Saturday. And the first time I get a gap, I'm definitely, Frankie and myself will definitely come and join you guys at the Rally Sprint for All and then also at the Half Main and the Rallycross as well. All stuff to enjoy down here in Cape Town. Gents, thanks very much.
Thanks, Gary. Have a lucky evening. Thanks for the show.
Cheers, bye.
All right, there we go. One more person that we need to speak to this evening. 10 months ago, I knew very little about computers. I didn't even know a thing called iRacing actually existed. 10 months down the line, with the help of people like Garth de Villiers, Timothy Stanton, Mike Verrier, Stephen, Sean McCarthy, and numerous other people, we've got iRacing to where it is. And this name came up, this Garth de Villiers, and this guy was pretty quick with iRacing. Don't know the man at all. recently saw 2 entries in the 6 hour, the massive 6 hour that went down on Sunday. Very much a major success for that Sports and GT Masters Invitational event. And one of the teams that was in there was Durant Motorsport. So Frankie said to me, but where, how, what? So let's do a bit of homework and let's find out the background to Durant Motorsport. And for that purpose, Garth de Villiers, good evening to you.
Hi, Gary. How are you? Good evening.
Fantastic. Lovely to have you on the show. Garth, you've done a bit of racing in your own time as well. And you are a very passionate man in terms of motorsport. And very few people actually move away from the driving side and look to see what they can put back into motorsport. For the folks that know the name Durant Motorsport, but not exactly where it fits in, explain to us what Durant Motorsport is actually all about now in the modern era.
Well, Durant Motorsport was formed in about 2015. Myself and my business partner were actively involved in motorsport. He was more involved than I was. And he was racing sports and GTs at Killarney, Western Cape. And one day we just all got together in the workshop and thought, well, why don't we just put 3 cars together and all go and race at Killarney in Western Cape? And that's pretty much where Durant Motorsport was started. In our organization, we've got a lot of engineers who are also petrol heads, and it was just a natural thing for us to form a group and climb in the van on the weekend and go down to Killarney and enjoy some motorsport. So that started around about 2015, and then it just grew. I competed in the Libra Series 2016, 2017, and 2018. I think I got my dates right. And then I moved over to the Nationals for a year after that. We also created our annual pilgrimage where we went to the Knysna Hill Climb, where we have a Durant Motorsport team that was doing pretty well there. I think it was 2016. Mike Ferrier asked us to come and crew for him, and the guys all put up their hands and said, yes, why not? Let's go and have a good weekend with motorsport. And that's when the pilgrimage to Knysna began, and they haven't missed a year since. I myself have been going to the hill climb every year since 2010. So from sitting on the banks of the hill climb, watching the cars go up the hill, to actually driving it myself in 2016. So if there's a will, there's a way, and if you have that passion, you can make it happen. So we competed in the hill climb 2017, 18, and 19, and we've won our class every single year that we've competed.
Fantastic.
So the hill climb it's a very technical challenge, the hill climb. Anybody who's ever thought of, should I do it, should I not do it, should really give the hill climb a nice hill climb a look. It's a very technical approach to what we're used to doing on main circuit. Quite simply, when you do the hill climb, there's no warm-ups, there's no practice sessions, you get 13 runs up the hill, and you have to learn as much as you can every time you go up the hill. So it's a very technical challenge. So yeah, a lot of fun, and also the atmosphere at the hill climb is second to none as well. You know, we call it the Durban July of motorsport, and really
it is awesome. It is really awesome. I've had one opportunity to be there, and it was utterly mind-boggling to see who takes part, the personalities, the racing driver and crews that are there, and then to look at the machinery that is there, utterly amazing. Garth, recently you have been linked very much to training and teaching people in terms of motorsport. The way I understand it, it's basically a non-profit making scenario. The way I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, you try and identify what you class as to be a good racing driver, and then try and take him to the next level? How do you guys at Durant Motorsport determine who you want to try and assist in motorsport?
Yeah, so lockdown brought about iRacing for a lot of us. We've known about iRacing for quite some time. It's been around for a long time, but it's never been a mainstream thing. And obviously, lockdown was just the platform for this to launch. And once again, Mike Verrier twisted my arm many times to get involved with iRacing, and eventually I got involved with it. And the realism that the physics model has got in iRacing is such that you can actually translate the iRacing vehicle dynamics to the main circuit into the real vehicle, and that was very surprising to me, and that's when I realized the usefulness that iRacing would be for young drivers, because on iRacing you can go and do 150 laps in the evening, and you can try various lines, various styles, various setups, and that's not something you can do in real life.
Yeah,
150 laps on a race circuit, or you need a big budget to do that sort of practice.
yeah,
So, I enjoy the driving as much, especially when I'm racing with my peers in the Masters group. I enjoy the racing as much as the engineering, but I think first and foremost, my passion is the engineering and the understanding of the vehicle dynamics and what makes a race car go around a track. I mean, racing is not just about the driver. There's many good drivers that we watch in Formula One, Formula Two, IndyCar, very good drivers that don't do well at all, because racing is a team sport, and you need a good machine and you need a good team as well. And I think there's a lot of focus just on the driver and not enough focus on what goes on in the background as well.
yeah,
But to identify young drivers, iRacing has just opened up that window to develop young drivers, and identify some young drivers to work with, and see if we can explain how the race car works. And the moment they can understand how the race car is working, it will make them a better driver ultimately. So once they can become one with their vehicle and understand what their vehicle is saying to them and how they're feeling it, that'll be an opportunity for a good driver to take that step up to becoming a great driver.
yeah. If there's people out there, I mean, not if there is people out there that would love to get the opportunity to get some inside line intuition from the likes of yourself and Durant Motorsport, if people want to get hold of you, where can they contact you? How can they let you know about them, that you can go and have a look and see what they're doing and see if you can help them further?
So what I'm doing is purely passion. So what I do is just I do it out of passion for motorsport, and working with quick drivers is just a hoot for me. I just love doing that. We've got some incredible talent in South Africa as well. Working with these guys, I enjoy that. I'm still involved with Libre in Western Province Motorsport. Still supporting the single-seater guys over there, and with the live streaming, we've got Team Viewer. We can link directly to the teams on race day, so the technology is just fantastic, and I enjoy that sort of thing. If you want to, the best thing to do, I mean, you can send us an email at info@durantmotorsport.co.za, but I would suggest the best way to interact with the team is to join us on our YouTube channel, Durant Motorsport on YouTube. On a race day, when we're racing live, there will be a WhatsApp number on the screen. You can communicate with us on the WhatsApp, and it's a unique opportunity to be live with the team on board the vehicle. So you can be driving on the roll bar camera, seeing the car from inside. You can be listening to the driver, talking to the engineer. You can listen to the teams and the driver swaps and the driver changes. And it's a unique opportunity to see the inner workings of racing, which is not that easy to do in real life. So I would suggest, if people are interested and want to get involved, we only work on the iRacing platform, unfortunately. I've tried other platforms and I've found them to be not realistic, and I don't see the value in training drivers on unrealistic platforms. So iRacing, look, iRacing's got its faults as well, but in terms of being the most accurate, it's not completely accurate, obviously.
Yeah.
In terms of being the most accurate in the areas where you would want young drivers to learn how to feed back information to an engineer, how to feed back information to their team, that's like driving the lines, entering corners, corner entry issues with the car, mid-corner issues with the car, corner exit. Those the physics model in those areas is very realistic with iRacing. So it may not be that realistic when you put two wheels on the grass or something like that. But yeah, in the areas that are important to us, iRacing gives us the best physics model, and that's why we work solely on the iRacing platform. So if you're interested in doing that, you'd have to be on the iRacing platform, and then I'd suggest you get onto the YouTube channel, watch a race, see what we do, see what interests you, and then interact with us on the WhatsApp, ask some questions. I'm sure people want to know a lot of things during a race, but it's just a matter of communicating with the team. We can do that. And then if you want to get involved, you can send a one-page CV, what your motorsport experience is, because I also prefer to work with main circuit, and not necessarily just main circuit, but main circuit and karting guys. And we've got Chase Herald, who's a dirt tracker on the oval racing. So, but predominantly with racing drivers and not gamers as such. It's very hard to communicate experience with gamers. So I work almost exclusively with race car drivers that are either actively involved in main circuit or karting or oval track. And then if you've got that experience, send a one-page CV to info@durantmotorsport.co.za. We'll get it there. But best way is to come to the YouTube channel and watch a race live. I think the next event is Watkins Glen, 6 hours of Watkins Glen on the 18th of June will be the next race. So we're also focusing on endurance racing, because there's far more strategy in endurance racing. There's a lot to learn about the temperament of driving as opposed to sprint racing. So there's a lot to learn in endurance racing. So I like to focus on endurance racing. It also builds a bit of a team atmosphere and a team spirit, which is it's quite nice to be involved with a team that's working towards a goal. So endurance racing is where we focus, and iRacing offers special events every month where we've got 6 hours, we've got 12-hour races, and there's even 24-hour races, which are super difficult.
And we've got our local series, which we run in West Brabant Sports and GT, which is very, very popular on Wednesday night, the Masters Series. That's every Wednesday. And there's going to be an announcement for a endurance series on Tuesday night, next week, Tuesday. In fact, exactly a week from now, Dr. Mike Verrier will be online with us, and he's going to give the information on that series. And that's probably going to become the biggest iRacing series in South Africa for the next 6 months going forward. Garth, thanks very much for joining us. Please be so kind as to post that relevant information onto the Second Gear page as well, so that the folks interested can pick it up from there. And thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Gary.
Wow, to get hold of people like Garth de Villiers and see the passion and the inside line, people putting back into motorsport, not taking out, not charging you for anything, saying if you're one of the best out there, we're going to help you and take you to the next level. That is utterly awesome stuff. Sorry, folks, we've gone a bit over the hour. There's just so much to talk about. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with you. See you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with West Province Sports and GT Masters. And then back here at 8 o'clock on Thursday night again. From our side, thank you, everybody. Good night to you, one and all.
Wescape Space. Just hold. Yes, it's the 2017. I've got it in my hand. Perfect. See you in an hour.
Westcape Motor and Buggy Spares are located in Blackheath Industrial. We have a wide range of good used parts. We also do new parts, new tires, new engine components, mechanical repairs. We rebuild engines. The service that we provide exceeds our reputation. You'll always find someone to assist.